The Witch is a horror film set in the 1630s about a family who lives next to a forest where a supposed witch lives. And after the youngest son goes missing, they're not sure whether to blame themselves or the witch that lives in the forest. Now, I know this review is late because this movie came out right at the start of the year, but I haven't had a chance to see it until now. And like I said in my Zoolander 2 review, throughout the year I try and review as many movies as I can from that year, even if that means ones that I missed in the cinema and I will catch up later on in the year, like for example this one. Now, one thing I must stress about this movie, if you're planning to watch it or buy it, it's not your regular jump scare filled horror movie. It's actually more of a period drama that happens to have horror elements around it. Now, this movie both surprised me and slightly bored me at the same time, because what works in this movie really works. I mean, the stuff that is good is phenomenal. But then there are a couple of things that, in my opinion, let it down. The cinematography and direction in this movie blew me away, and that surprised me quite a bit, seeing that this is a directorial debut by Robert Edgers. And the reason I say his name is because I think he'll be one to look out for in the very near future. The setting is perfectly captured and tension well realised through very, very slow moving shots and some very meticulous editing. The score is also very haunting and unlike any score I've heard before. It also emphasises the creep factor of the movie just a little bit more and makes things a little bit more scarier. And finally, there's the acting. Everyone in the movie gives A-class performances. I cannot think of a single bad performance. And for me, the father of the family, the eldest daughter and the eldest son gave the best performances, because even though everyone else in the family is good, these three characters have specific scenes that make them shine way more than the others do, and you will know those scenes when they happen. But I thought they were the three strongest performances in the entire movie. Now, in terms of flaws, what I'm about to say may come across as nitpicking, but to me they are still flaws. Now, usually tension in a movie is there to be built up and up over the course of the movie, and there is usually a payoff towards the end. In this movie, however, the tension builds and builds, and then the movie ends. There is no payoff. They wound up the tension, and that's it. Now, for me, I actually quite like that, but it's the way they built up the tension in certain scenes that kind of bugged me. Now, one way the tension is built up is through the film's pacing, and the film is paced incredibly slowly, and there are some scenes that work incredibly well because of this, but I would be lying to you if I didn't say that this film bored me in a couple of scenes. The movie itself also looks very grey, very desolate, and this is mostly due to a grey colour palette, and it makes the film a lot more depressing than it already is. This is just a nitpick in my opinion, but I think the film could have benefited from a bit more colour, because the movie's grey, when certain colours appear it does pop out more. But I think the film as a whole could have benefited from a lot more colour, and just making it all grey does make it a lot more depressing. And I mean, this isn't really a happy movie, but you need some sort of colour. Also, the two youngest children in this movie I found very annoying at times, although that's probably just me. I like this movie quite a lot, but I don't love it as much as everyone else does. I can clearly understand why they love it, but for me, I just liked it. I like how different it is, and I also like how the further into the movie you go, the more fucked up everything gets. And that is why I'm going to give The Witch a 7 out of 10. Like I said, I really like the movie, but it just slightly bored me a bit. So guys, that was my review for The Witch. If you like this review, then remember to subscribe to the channel and like this video. I just want to say something very quickly. Thank you for all this positive feedback from my comedy short that I did called Lost. That was a last minute thing. I didn't expect anything to be made from it, but we made something and I'm glad you all like it. So guys, that's it for today, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.